What is up, disc golfers? Today on Iceberg TV, I think Discmania's got a little problem on their hands. I've got this new DD1 thanks to Disc Golf Deals USA, and I felt this disc and I was like, this feels like it's going to be super beefcake. And of course I threw it a few times, and I don't have the biggest arm, but this thing is ridiculously overstable and it flies absolutely nothing like the flight numbers would indicate. It says it's a -1 turn and a 2 fade, so you think it would maybe hyzer flip slightly, maybe turn slightly and then fade, like a nice consistent wraith or something like that. This thing is way more overstable than that. And I'm gonna give you guys all of my thoughts on this in a second, but let's give it a throw so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So Discmania's got a really interesting situation on their hands where Eagle's always injured. Casey White is not always injured, but he's inconsistent. And it seems like Kyle Klein these days is always injured as well. And nobody's really out there showcasing all the new discs properly, except for Paul Kranz. Paul Kranz is shooting some amazing disc golf, showcasing the discs on Simon's YouTube channel, but half the discs in his bag are old Innova discs. And I think this is a real problem because when you look at Eagle's bag, it's half Innova discs. You look at Casey's bag, it's basically half Innova discs. And Discmania is obviously slowly rebuilding their lineup, but every single disc they come out with is more stable than it's kind of supposed to be, including this DD1. And I know it's not just me because I was on the Discmania fan page on the Facebook page, and there was a thread with hundreds of comments of people complaining about the same thing. We'll give it a forehand. I get a little bit more juice out of my forehand. I mean, look at the dump. So now with Discmania, I'm just wondering if they're going to be in trouble soon here because their best players are injured. Again, Casey is very good, but he is fairly inconsistent. So when Kyle's not playing well and Eagle's not playing well and all the discs that come out are horrible for amateur players, it just doesn't seem like, I just don't really see a scenario where they can't be doing very well sales-wise. Every once in a while, they kind of have a new hyped-up drop, but I feel like every drop has kind of disappointed more than the last, except for the S-Line FD and the S-Line DD3. Those are two incredible molds. But with this DD1, all they need to do is take that little ridge on top that makes every disc that has that ridge, except for the Innova Vulcan, is ridiculously overstable. And then lower the parting line a little bit, and then you'll have a really great usable distance driver because the plastic feels incredible. The mold is pretty good, but at the end of the day, what they have right now is just not a disc that's very useful for 99% of players. Is this, I don't know, is this, look at this cute boy. Just walking around the golf course. Are you a stray? I don't know. We'll address that after the video. See if old boy over there's got a home or not. But I don't know. Comment down below because I think Discmania's got some serious problems ahead if they can't start making discs that are good for normal people. From the new runs, are just, I mean, it's just the same disc over and over again. Everything just seems like so ridiculously stable. I'll show you guys the profile. I think if they take this little ridge off the top here and then try and lower the parting line a bit, the parting line's also quite high. I pretty much knew right away that this wasn't going to be, you know, anything like the flight numbers. This flies more like a 11.403 or something like that. I mean, just the thing just swings so hard to the right on a forehand and to the left on a backhand. Great utility disc, but I know there's going to be a lot of people that don't really like this video that are fans of Discmania, but it kind of just is what it is. Like, because when you look at all the guys playing on Team Discmania, and all the pro guys are still bagging a bunch of the old Innova runs, and that doesn't say great things about the brand. And then when I see, you know, really extensive Facebook threads of, you know, hundreds of people having the same sort of quality concerns, you know, that kind of obviously validates that for me as well. But ever since, you know, the new C-Line MD3s flew nothing like the old ones, then the C-Line FDs, crazy stable, and then the C-Line PDs, crazy stable, and those are pretty good discs for, you know, top tier pros with 500 feet of power. But that's the 0.0001% of people that play disc golf. And until the S-Line FD, the S-Line DD3 came out, they really didn't have a good disc for normal people. So yeah, I would really love to hear your guys' thoughts about this in the comment section down below. We'll grab this DD1, throw it one more time. And again, if you guys disagree with me, I'm totally happy, to hear your guys' opinions on that. And I definitely would like to have some discussions with you guys about it. If you disagree, I'd like to understand why. Do you think I just have a noodle arm? Or what are your thoughts? Definitely want to hear in the comment section down below. Just full power Annie. Thing goes like 10 feet. Okay. All right, so that was a full power distance driver on Annie. And now we'll throw a Discraft Meteor so you guys can see the distance. Like, that's what glide looks like. And you can make drivers that glide like that. You can see the orange disc, and then you can see a mid-range. Like a full power Annie distance driver shouldn't go less far than a mid-range, in my opinion. But the disc does have a few redeemable qualities in my book. The new S-Line I am a big fan of, and the mold actually does feel very good in the hand. So if you do have 500 feet of power in your arsenal, this is going to be a really reliable distance driver that you're going to be able to throw hard and flat, get a slight turn out of, but a super reliable fade. Or if you live somewhere with crazy wind and you have to throw into, 30, 40 mile an hour headwinds pretty consistently, I would 100% have confidence ripping this as hard as I can into a stiff headwind, knowing that it's not going to, turn like crazy and get away from you like that. So yeah, my thoughts for the future of Discmania is when they want discs to be tested properly and get honest, unbiased opinions, they shouldn't really be asking, their sponsored players, because those players are going to feel obligated to like the disc. And then fans of Discmania are going to have a bias because they're just, fans of Discmania in general, and they're going to pretend like it flies a certain way when it probably doesn't. So if you send it to players that you don't either pay or they're not like on your team or, super into you, then you're going to get a more honest feedback as to how the disc actually flies. Because I'm not a super fan of this, and I don't think it flies great, which is a shame because the plastic is really incredible quality and it feels good, but just doesn't fly the way it's supposed to. So definitely going to give this like a 4 or a 5 out of 10 at best. And that's just because it feels nice in the hand and it's really, really premium quality plastic. That's just my thoughts, but comment down below. You guys are watching Iceberg TV, and take care.